She stood in the middle of the kitchen, arms crossed, eyes sharp as a blade. Her name was Vivian Carter, billionaire, CEO of a fashion empire worth over $3 billion. A woman who had built her entire life on one principle: never let anyone take what is yours. And someone had taken something from her. The diamond necklace was gone. It wasn't just any necklace. It was the last thing her mother had left her before she died. A delicate chain with a single teardrop-shaped diamond. No monetary value in the world could replace it. And now it was missing. Vivian walked slowly through the kitchen, her heels clicking against the marble floor like a judge's gavel. Every employee stood still. The chef, the housekeeper, the security guard by the door. And then there was Rosa Mitchell, 38 years old, white, pale hands calloused from years of scrubbing pots and mopping floors. She had been hired 3 weeks earlier through a domestic staffing agency. No criminal record, excellent references. A quiet woman who arrived early, left late, and never asked for anything extra. But Vivian was staring directly at her. "Empty your pockets." The words fell like stones into still water. Rosa blinked. "I'm sorry." "You heard me. Empty your pockets." Rosa's hands trembled as she reached into her apron. A lip balm, a folded piece of paper, a worn photograph. Vivian's eyes narrowed at the photograph, but she didn't reach for it. "Not yet. My necklace disappeared this morning. You were the only person in this wing of the house between 6 and 8 a.m. The cameras confirm it. Mrs. Carter, I didn't take anything. I would never." "Don't." Vivian raised one finger. "Don't insult my intelligence with that." The other employees exchanged glances. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Rosa's eyes filled with tears. "Please, I have 2 children. This job is everything to me. I would never risk." "You're fired," Vivian said, cutting her off. "Security will escort you out. If the necklace is not returned by tomorrow morning, I will be filing a police report." And just like that, it was over. Rosa gathered her few belongings. She didn't scream. She didn't argue. She simply walked out, clutching that worn photograph tightly to her chest, tears silently rolling down her face. Nobody stopped her. Nobody asked any questions. And Vivian Carter went back to her office, satisfied that justice had been served. She was certain she had done the right thing. She was certain. But certainty, as she would soon discover, can be the most dangerous thing in the world. 3 days passed. The necklace didn't turn up. No police report had been filed yet. Vivian kept delaying it, though she couldn't explain why. Maybe it was the way Rosa had looked at her. Maybe it was something else. It started with Maya. Maya was Vivian's 7-year-old daughter. Bright, curious, full of a kind of love that adults tend to lose somewhere along the way. But since Rosa left, Maya had gone quiet. She refused to eat dinner. She cried herself to sleep 2 nights in a row. She kept asking the same question over and over. "Mommy, where did Aunt Rosa go?" Vivian brushed it off at first. Children get attached. It passes. But then Diane, the nanny, came to her one evening, looking pale and nervous. "Mrs. Carter, there's something I need to tell you." She reached into her pocket and placed it gently on the desk. The diamond necklace. Vivian's chest tightened. "Where did you find this?" "I didn't find it," Diane said carefully. "Maya had it. She took it from your vanity 3 weeks ago. She wanted to give it to Rosa." The room seemed to tilt. What? Maya saw Rosa crying alone in the kitchen one morning. Rosa was holding a photograph and crying quietly. Maya didn't understand why, but she wanted to make her feel better. She thought giving her something beautiful would help. Vivian couldn't speak. Maya hid the necklace in Rosa's bag while Rosa was cleaning the dining room. Rosa didn't even know it was there. The silence that followed was deafening. Vivian fired an innocent woman. A woman with 2 children. A woman who had done nothing wrong. A woman she had humiliated in front of everyone. She stood up slowly and walked to Maya's room. The little girl was sitting on her bed, holding a drawing, a crayon picture of 2 women side by side. One with dark skin and a crown, one with lighter skin and an apron. "Baby," Vivian said, her voice barely above a whisper, "can I ask you something?" Maya looked up. "Is Aunt Rosa coming back?" Vivian's throat tightened. "Why did Rosa make you sad? Why was she crying?" Maya looked at her drawing for a moment. She was looking at a picture, an old one, of two little girls. She said one of them went away a long time ago, and she never got to say goodbye. Something cold moved through Vivian's body. She walked quickly back to her office. She remembered the photograph, the one Rosa had pulled from her pocket, the one she had glanced at but never examined. She called the staffing agency. She asked for Rosa's full file, and when the file arrived by email 20 minutes later, Vivian opened it with hands that wouldn't stop shaking. Rosa Ann Mitchell, born in Columbus, Ohio, raised at Lakeview Children's Home from age 4 to age 11. Vivian stopped breathing. Lakeview Children's Home. She knew that name. She had lived there too, from age 3 to age 9, when she was adopted by the Carter family. With trembling hands, Vivian opened her own storage boxes she hadn't touched in over 20 years, and dug until she found what she was looking for. An old photograph, faded, torn slightly at one corner. Two little girls, one black, one white, arms around each other, smiling in front of a red brick building. On the back, in a child's handwriting, "Rosa and Viv, best friends forever." The world collapsed. Rosa had been her only friend at that orphanage, the girl who shared her blanket when it was cold, the girl who stood between her and the older kids who mocked her, the girl who held her hand when the Carters came to take her away, and young Vivian cried so hard she could barely breathe. Rosa had never been adopted. Rosa had stayed, and decades later, life had brought her to Vivian's door, not as an old friend, not as a reunion, but as a cook, a worker, a woman Vivian hadn't even looked at long enough to recognize. And Vivian had called her a thief. Vivian Carter, the woman who had everything, fell to her knees on the cold marble floor and wept. Not quietly, not gracefully. She wept the way only the truly broken do. She found Rosa's number in the agency file and called immediately. Rosa answered on the third ring. "Rosa, it's me." Vivian's voice cracked. "It's Viv." A long silence on the other end. Then, softly, barely audible, Rosa said, "I wondered if you'd ever remember me." "I'm so sorry," Vivian whispered. "I'm so sorry." There was another long pause, and then Rosa said something that would stay with Vivian for the rest of her life. "I never blamed you for forgetting. People who are saved often forget the ones who didn't get saved with them. That's just how it goes." Vivian closed her eyes. "Come back," she said. "Please. Not as my cook, not as my employee. Come back as what you always were." "And what's that?" Rosa asked. "My family. Power has a dangerous side effect. It makes us forget where we came from. And when we forget our roots, we risk hurting the very people who planted them." Vivian had built an empire, but in the process she had traded her memory for marble floors and diamond necklaces. She had looked at a woman carrying decades of loyalty and sacrifice, and saw only a suspect. We judge the unfamiliar. We fear the vulnerable. We move quickly and feel righteous. But the truth doesn't always arrive on time to save the innocent. Sometimes it arrives just in time to save the guilty. Be careful how you treat the people you believe are beneath you, because one day you may discover they were always above you.